We're in Bad Walbach. You can see the resemblance to Cooperstown. Feria Pierdorf Villa Lilly. This is Villa House Clare, built for Clare von Gontard in 1910 as an annex, I guess, to Villa Lilly. The weather vane, you see the A and Eagle here on House Clare.
House Flora, it was called House Flora because he built it up for the chief of the gardeners. Flora means the Blume in Germany. Flora, Flore, die Blume.
37 gardeners to run his botanical garden here. And huge rhododendron, look at this.
Yes, and the name of the chief gardener was Meyer. And I come in August this year, and if I can come, I will that you close the doors every night at around 8 o'clock, that all the people, they shouldn't be there, has to get out. And
here are some gardens. Adolphus admired Louis XIV, so he copied the gardens here. It's a little bit early to be in full bloom, but it's very pretty. All the 79 patients take care of the gardens. Designed by American architects. Very unusual architecture for Germany in 1910.
Yeah, exactly. And what we found out, that the price to build up this house in these times were 1 million German Goldmark, which is around 10 million Deutschmark at this time.
Just for this house?
Yes, just for this house.
Art Deco fountains, which still work, which yes. Adolphus loved and designed.
And I show you, I have in my office, I have a good book which shows all these things.
Clare House sunroom overlooking, how many acres?
137 hectares.
37 hectares, and Adolphus later in life had a wheelchair and he would shoot the hirsch from paths here through the forest. Beautiful stained glass here with the birds.
Adolphus Busch died in 1913 here in the Villa Lilly, and we heard that he said if he should die on the Villa Lilly, he wants that his heart should be grown here and the body should be should go to St. Louis, to the big factory that all the people can say goodbye. And we thought this should be only a story. The heart should be grown in the Villa Lilly, and five buried. And 5 years ago, there came a mushroom collector or a hunter came to us and said, I would like to show you a special place in the forest. And we went there and we found 2 big marble plates and a statue, and probably in this summer we will exhume and find out what we will find. You know.
Oh, danke.
Yes, can.
Michael is the director, and he is saying they only spent 6 or 7 weeks here, but when Adolphus and Lilly arrived, they would have a big party for all the townspeople. They arrive in their private train car.
Yes, they came from America to Wilhelmshaven in the north of Germany, and then they came with their own train car to Wiesbaden, and then they came from Wiesbaden with the 4 automobiles, where they stayed here. They came from Wiesbaden up to Linschied. All over.
This is all in wood, and the first time they ever had rollers up here in the wood to keep the sun out. It's what we call awnings, but these are the first in all of Germany. Over here is Villa Lilly, where the grandparents were. Gut Morgen, Adolphus and Lilly. Here's a room for group therapy with the fireplace. In the center of House Clare, look at the beautiful stained glass windows. They say it looks like a cathedral. The bust of Adolphus Busch, which is featured in the YouTube video. They're missing one of Lilly. I wonder if anyone can find one of Lilly. The path connecting House Clare to Villa Lilly for the grandchildren And also when Adolphus was in the wheeling chair, as Michael calls it, he would come this way and shoot the Hirsch in the forest beyond. So up we came Adolphus Busch Alley, and you see the eagles and the entrance to Villa Lilly. A German swastika that has been removed, and I say Adolphus probably knew Kaiser Wilhelm. And now the story, Michael?
The story about Kaiser Wilhelm and Adolphus Busch is that Kaiser Wilhelm stayed in Wiesbaden sometimes, and he heard that Adolphus Busch was on the Villa Lilly, and he wrote him a letter and said, "I would like to see you, would you please come to Wiesbaden?" And Adolphus Busch wrote back, "I'm staying here, if you want to see me, just come around, I don't come to Wiesbaden." This is the story about the Kaiser Wilhelm and Adolphus Busch.
Here's the close-up of Villa Lilly. And you see the slate on the side. It's so beautiful. Whoops.
So now when we come to the Villa Lilly house, the first house who was built, you can see this blue wood in the back, and we say it was the French Bourgogne blue, the blue of Louis XIV.
Built in 1891 and rehabbed in 1988 when Michael and company started the drug rehab center. And Adolphus died here in 1913 and left his heart here, it is said, but was buried in St. Louis.
The tree you see in front is the one you can't find it in Germany. So we think Adolphus brought it with him from America somewhere, because I've never seen such one in Germany somewhere else.
And we think it's a redwood?
Yes, I think it's a redwood.
Beautiful.
I just want to show
The entrance to Villa Lilly, and look at the seal, Weidmann's Heil, which is good luck to the hunter.
Yes, exactly, that's it.
This was the main salon with the original chandelier and ceilings. And this was the piano room. And you see the American flag and the eagles up here.
You know, this is the greeting of hunters. Weidmann's Heil.
Built by Schafvogel, which was a ceramic artist around 1910. And Adolphus Busch, we found, let it build just in the opening of this house over here.
Another sunroom here at Villa Lilly.
Yeah.
Beautiful stained glass.
Yes. What we heard that the way to make the beer
Last longer.
last longer was the reason Adolphus Busch had a good Verbindung. What is Verbindung?
Recipe.
Yeah.
Pasteurization.
Yes, this is the reason the brewery gets as great as it.
He knew Louis Pasteur and knew that was...
Exactly. Thank you. All this Schiebefenster in Germany, and we know that in 1891 we didn't have it in Germany, so we think Adolphus Busch brought it with him.
The first sliding window.
In times you didn't use internet, TV, stuff like this. So all these little families, they had more and more children. And Adolphus Busch said, so normally children have to go to school. So he built it for them a schoolhouse.
This is the old schoolhouse for the 37 gardeners' children.
Right now it's a place for people to stay.
This is the old kindergarten
We call this
of
house
Adolphus.
Mini Lilly. One is the kindergarten, and so we call this house the Mini Lilly because it's the house for the childs.
Unten drunter haben die eine Bäckerei gehabt.
Yeah.
This was the machine house in Adolphus and Lily's time. All the machines ran everything in the estate. This is called the marketplace or the Bauhof.
Bauhof. You see it over there. Bauhof.
Bauhof, different from the Bahnhof, which is the train station, and those 4 glass cubicles where his 4 cars were.
All around here. Where the
All around here were the horses.
Right there?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was cars.
The carpenter's house, and here was the first greenhouse where the doors
So we go
opened
inside.
if there was no sun,
pigeons?
and Michael's telling us that it was the first of its kind of greenhouse in Germany.
Yes.
And you plugged it up.
The old dovecote here. It's still a carpenter shop today where the furniture was made, and the patients are still making their furniture and woodwork. Inside the greenhouse, cucumbers, pepperoni, they're growing tomatoes, they're growing their own food here.
Sheep.
This is the old aviary. He brought birds from America, and now it's the chicken house. And you see some sheep up here.
About 180.
You eat your own?
Yes.
And this building was for the cows and pigs. All of this for just 6 weeks a summer. The other side of the barn for the tractors, etc. This was called the forest house for the chief hunter.
Yeah, exactly. And we have seen the flora, the gardener's house, and now we see the forest house. And it means that on the two main entrances of the area there were these houses, because these people had to make sure that the park is closed at night. So they had to get out and say, are the doors really closed?
So it was open to the public during the day? Oh, the same as Busch Gardens in California. Adolphus Busch, we're in Michael's office, an amazing story. For your 30th anniversary here at Villa Lilly, the gardener's son brought this back. As a surprise to you?
It was a real surprise. You know, I heard so many stories about Adolphus Busch during these 32 years I stay here. And this was one more of those amazing stories about
He's going to write down his knowledge. He's retiring
the mayor
in
of
2
Bad
years.
Schwalbach. He also liked the story around Adolphus Busch. And we said if we are retired, we do the story.
And you have time finally.
Yes, sir.
So this is the same artist, the study for the marble bust.
Amazing story. This is a story about the book a group of artists did in the 1970s. Inside you will find little paintings, comics about the Villa Lilly, you see, House Claire and the little...
So they rented Claire
for 400 Deutschmark a month. They rented the House Claire.
How many years?
3 years. And in this time they produced the first edition of the Titanic, which is a satire magazine in Germany. You can get it probably also in America. And even if one of the patients does a very good therapy, he gets it as a gift to say, you should remember to the time Villa Lilly.
Special?
This is a very special symbol for me and the Villa Lilly, because it means therapy. Tierferienheim Villa Lilly. That means the people from all over the world can come here, therapy, and if they get sane, and we should be well prepared, and then go out back and do their own lives. Yeah. This is House Claire.
This concludes our 2-hour tour from Michael of Villa Lilly and Claire House, walking the same paths that Lilly and Adolphus walked 100 years ago. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
No, he didn't.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wiedersehen und Dankeschön.
Auf Wiedersehen. Dankeschön.
Vielen Dank für den Besuch. Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.